Humidity. So humidity is the number one killer of all garden plants, right? If you ask me, right? So I've been teaching gardening for more than 10 years now, and most of the problems and most of the questions asked by amateur gardeners or faced by amateur gardeners, right, are usually related to humidity, right? Such as drying leaf tips, drying leaf edges, right? And flower buds that haven't opened up, but they just dried up and drop off. Unripe fruits dropping, right? That is also humidity. And droopy leaves, right? Not enough water, dehydration, right? All these problems are usually because of fluctuating or low humidity. And then I got this question all the time, right? During my talks, right? Whenever I do my talks, whenever I'm sharing about humidity, many hands shot up in the workshops, in the talks, right? Asking this question, right? I'm so confused, right? In Singapore, in Malaysia, they are all tropical countries, right? So isn't humidity always very high, right? So here's the thing. Yes, right, it is true that humidity is always very high in tropical climate like Singapore. Right? However, there are factors that will affect the relative humidity, right? The humidity of the growing environment, right? Such as wind, right? Strong winds, breezes, or even like the rate of evaporation. So if you grow your plants on a very windy balcony, right, you'll find that you will need to water them more often, right? More frequently, right? Because the soil just dries up pretty quickly, right? That's because the wind is drawing away the drawing away the water vapor, and hence reducing the relative humidity level in the environment, right? So that creates a lot of stress to the plants, right? Fluctuation in humidity level is very stressful. And what makes it worse is that if your balcony is very sunny, right, and then the temperature actually increases, right, and the rate of evaporation is faster now, and the plants are going to lose water even faster, right? So you have to water them even more frequently than usual, right? Sometimes you need to water more, and it makes the water management a little bit challenging, right? So sometimes you water too much or too little, you don't know when it's dry then the water, right? That's the problem. So this is also why other people's advice who don't really actually work, right? Because most gardeners tend to follow a very fixed water schedule, right? Like they water once a day, twice a day, and that's it, right? But if you understand that growing environments are unique, right? They are very different for every gardener. Then a much better approach, a much better way is to only water when necessary. So it can mean sometimes twice a day, sometimes once a day, depending on the soil condition, on the moisture level, right? So this way it is far more effective than just following a fixed schedule, right? Which will tend to overwater or underwater your plants and causing those stress. So back to the topic, like how can we increase humidity level, right? So there are many ways that you can do that. So the first way is to really avoid winds, right? Either by changing to a totally new growing environment, right? There's no wind, right? There's better environment, right? Or we can have some kind of obstruction to prevent the wind from blowing directly on your plants. So you can choose to use like plastic boards, transparent plastic boards, to shield away the wind, right? Or you can even grow very tall, taller plants, bigger plants that are more tolerant to humidity levels, and you can use them to block away the winds from your more delicate plants. So that is also an effective way that I practice myself. So another way is to as you grow more plants, right, it actually increases the humidity level, and that is the perfect excuse for you to expand your collection, right? Expand more plants, right? Because plants usually gives out water vapor from transpiration, right? And when we tend to grow more plants, when we grow them together, the relative humidity level increases because of the higher content of water vapor. So another way to increase humidity is to grow them in larger pots, or grow them in the soil, right? If you have a garden, right? Or even placing your pots over the soil, then putting on the concrete, right? Because soil retains water, right? It holds water very well, and it gives out humidity from there, right? So more soil, more moisture, hence higher humidity. You can also achieve the same effect, right, if you can grow your potted plants, right, on a water absorbing mat, right? That like some heavy mat that absorb water a lot, that will actually help as well. So some gardeners, I heard before they suggested misting the plants, right? They spray on the plants every now and then. But really, it may cause more harm than benefits. Right? Not only that, misting will not increase humidity level, but in fact, water vapor actually forms on the leaves, right? And under a hot sun, that is very bad, right? Because those water droplets becomes like, small lenses, right? Small lenses will burn the leaves, right? So forget about misting, right? It doesn't work at all. So what really makes humidity the serious killer is that, you just can't see it, right? It's not something that you can easily fix, right? So that makes it a lot more challenging, a lot more difficult for gardeners, especially the amateur gardeners, to manage. Right, so if you understand that humidity is a key growing condition to consider, right, you will know how to spot the signs, you will know how to spot the symptoms, and from there, you will know how to evaluate growing environment. You know what action to take to increase humidity, prevent humidity issues, right? So you also know how to select the right plants too. Right, this will increase your chance of gardening success, and you will definitely enjoy gardening, right? Because you got no problem, you know exactly what went wrong, and you know how to fix it. Right, so I covered this in great detail, right, in my ebook called Grow. So make sure you click on the link in the description below and download the ebook for free today, right? And if you want to find out, what are the plants that are tolerant to low humidity or to windy conditions, right? Make sure you watch many of my other videos, right? I will show you exactly how to use the grow method to assess the growing conditions, right? How do you find the perfect growing environment, and how you can do gardening without stress, without frustration, and really, enjoy gardening. And make sure you subscribe, because you are going to learn a lot more from my weekly videos. And I can guarantee you that, you will become a better gardener. So until next time, enjoy your gardening, and I will see you soon.